Yeah, so you just push one button and you're up in camp mode, and everything comes up, the roof comes up, the lights start coming on, and we can do it in sequence even, 30-second timers to where it starts with floor lights,
Crazy.
kitchen lights, and ceiling. So it's pretty cool.
There you have it. Hey everybody, Isaac here with Trails and Trucks, and I am here with
Austin. So I'm the design engineer for EarthCruiser.
Austin. What are we looking at behind us?
Yeah, so this is the Hummer EV EarthCruiser Overland solution. So GMC came to us, and we worked with GM really closely to make sure that we developed an Overland product specifically that was going to be tailor-made for that truck, and it looks like it's OEM. So.
Right. So is this an OEM kind of fit and finish? Is this a separate product?
It's a separate product.
Okay.
You can right now get onto EarthCruiser, you go put your deposit down, you bring EarthCruiser a truck, and you're in line to put one of these on the back of it. So
wow.
It's a completely isolated unit. It's a carbon fiber shell. It's all our design.
Okay.
It sits nice and tight on the vehicle, but it is completely isolated, it's completely sealed, and it's an EarthCruiser product.
Because it looks a whole lot different than your like typical slide-in camper.
Yeah.
What makes this one different, unique? I mean, it looks OEM. It looks like it's physically a part of the Hummer EV. That's what makes me so excited about this thing.
Yeah.
How'd you manage to do that?
Yeah, no, working with the GM team has been amazing.
Yeah.
You know, we partnered for about a year, and even before then we were in talks for a long time. And we took a design team from EarthCruiser and married it to the design team with GM, and we went back and forth, you know, specified spatial awareness from our perspective of what we needed, and the GM team just tailor-made it and made it look absolutely beautiful for the truck.
Wow.
And it was a huge collaboration.
Wow. So we've talked about sliding campers on this channel before, but obviously this one is different. So why don't we walk around to the side, and can you kind of walk me through how this one in particular mounts, installs, and like stays in contact with the Hummer EV?
Yeah, absolutely. So because of the unibody design of the truck, we were actually able to tie in all the way through it. We can tie into the ABC pillars, all the way where the roof racks were, as well as into the bed, and there's some turnbuckles in the back as well for safety. So it's all tucked up, nice, hidden, isolated. Wow. So it stays on the thing. It's absolutely mounted and isolated front to back. So EarthCruiser's no stranger to making sure there's no bangs, rattles, all that kind of stuff. So there's poly bushings between everything. You're not going to get any rub, any whistle. And it's actually even got a seal from the camper to the roof, because everything hovers about a 1/4 inch off of the surface of the truck. Yeah.
Because it looks almost attached there, but it actually is just enough off.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So we've got little poly isolator bushings between every mounting point to make sure you don't get any of that rattle.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're all familiar with the new Hummer EV, so I want to jump into the product.
Yep.
Could you walk me through the construction of it? What makes this unique?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start you right here. I mean, that's where we're at. These side pods are really cool. You can get gear storage in this. Obviously, it's got a hatch here that comes down, and so it keeps the look and feel of the vehicle, keeps your drag down. Range is everything's drag and weight, right? Okay. And so reducing drag, you know, a lot of people are hanging things off the side of it, but if you want to increase that range, you got to keep it all tucked in, isolated, keep it slip.
Right.
And then obviously weight is huge. So this is an all carbon fiber construction.
Oh, wow.
So vacuum bag carbon fiber. It's an extremely lightweight shell, roof and everything. And then obviously we just got the 2 actuators on the side with scissor lift.
Right.
And so breaking that up, it's a little different than our normal design, but it's worked great. So.
And what is the footprint of this? Like, how big is this unit?
Yeah, so we started with a 5 foot by 5 foot bed. Right?
Okay.
And so the bed was like, you stand in it in a little tape box, and you're like, man, this is small.
Yeah.
But
how do we make a small bed big?
Yeah. So how do we do it? And so like we did, you know, once you get past the bed rail, it just keeps creeping out, right? And so we wanted to stay within the profile of the truck, but you know, it's got nice big fender flares, things like that, where the wheel can tuck up into. And so that allowed us to get outside of that. And with all of our storage solutions and things like that, we got some incredibly deep drawers, got lots of storage up under the bed. You actually have a whole bed that lifts up, and there's underbed storage.
Okay.
You know, we talked a little bit about this. We got the pass-through.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a complete OEM truck if you take this off, but we did take one of the T-top panels, and we cut a sailboat hatch into it.
Okay, I was wondering
so you can lift a hatch up out of your bed, and then you can pass down into the passenger seat.
Wow.
You know, people talk about safety, and that's important. I mean, it's just like yesterday, monsoon rains.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And you're in your truck, you're like, you know what? I can pop the roof up with my key fob or my iPad, and the roof comes up, and you just kind of open up that sailboat hatch, climb into your camper, you never even have to get out of the vehicle.
Wow,
so,
that's amazing.
Pretty cool.
When this thing is closed,
Yeah.
You know, how much of a difference are we seeing from OEM to, you know, with the whole thing installed?
Like as far as height goes?
Yeah,
and
as
things
far
like
as height
that?
goes.
You know what? I don't know if I have that exact measurement difference, but
Yeah.
I think it's about 80 inches total.
Okay.
And so from floor to height, and I do know that the roof of the vehicle basically sits into the camper about 4 inches.
About 4 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like when it's domed up in and you look down and if you lift up the bed hatch and all that stuff, you just see it. You can see the shark fin and everything, and just molded features over top of it.
Very cool. Well, I want to keep talking about the exterior, but the interior like makes this thing even better.
Yeah.
So why don't we walk around back here a little bit?
Yeah.
I know everybody's wanting to check this thing out just as much as we are.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
walk me through a little bit about the interior construction, why you went with, you know, the design that you did.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's hard to, as you're entering the door, you know, obviously you want to keep the door as big
Yeah.
as possible, but with a pop top on any camper, you're going to end up with a lower door. So making it wider really helps if you're going to be ducking through it. So we made the door as wide as possible. We call these our utility hatches. We got
Okay.
electrical on this side, and we got water on this side.
So cool.
This is a water bottle fill station through our
Okay.
filtered line. And so we run it through a Seagull filter. And so you fill this up, even with dirty water, you can still run it through here, and
That's
you got
cool.
nice clean water.
Wow.
You got exterior solar ports, so if you do park in the shade, you can actually take this, plug it in, run a solar panel out, and you've still got some charge.
Cool.
12-volt connector in your shore power, and your battery kill switch.
Wow.
And then inside of it, once you get in here, this is just kind of classic EarthCruiser design, right?
Okay.
We use nothing but composite honeycomb board, extremely lightweight. We got aluminum panel. Everything's like spray down, wash down. We're much
Yeah.
more similar to like a yacht,
Okay.
or like a sailboat,
Sure, sure.
than you would with any other RV.
Yeah, which
really
is
in
neat.
the area.
Right.
So this is actually a shower pan.
Okay.
And so you have an indoor shower as well as an outdoor shower that's popped out over here.
Okay.
And then over here is a little hatch in the floor.
Okay.
And that'll take you to your wag bag toilet. And so it's a little tripod
cool.
toilet system. You know, it's pretty small, but we were able to get some sort of toilet solution
Wow.
in there. You got a fridge freezer unit
Okay.
here. This vent is right there for it. You got a heater. It's a little small electric air
Okay.
heater.
Okay.
Because of its size and how insulated it is, it doesn't need to be big. So
Okay.
we did what we could with that. Electric cooktop. We got a sink, purified water spigot on that sink as well. Purposeful storage. You know, it doesn't look like it, but you got really big, nice
Wow.
drawers.
Wow.
Huge as far as it goes. You know, tilt out rubbish bins, all kinds of stuff. Utensil storage there. And some of my favorite things. You know, I'm the engineer, right?
Yeah,
and
of
so
course.
things like serviceability of this is
Yeah.
huge. And so if you take out this panel right here,
Yeah.
you have a huge panel that gets you back there, and you got your hot water heater, your pump board, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And all you got to do is take out a few bolts with one Allen key, and the whole thing's right there, accessible and serviceable. So
Very cool.
water, battery, huge battery, 460 amp hour lithium battery, and then underbed storage and pass-through. So
How long
tons
could
of
you
stuff.
live off grid in this thing?
You know, we really targeted it. You could run a lot of these systems, especially like this fridge and things like that, for about a week.
Okay.
You know, if you had 2 people and you're heavy energy users,
Sure.
you know, long weekend,
Sure.
sort of a deal. The electrical system's super independent of the truck, so you don't have to worry about drawing down your range
Yeah.
when you're using your systems here. It's just all on board. So
Okay.
you can't charge the camper from the truck, but you can charge the truck slightly from the
Okay.
camper. Ironically, you can actually plug in. It's not much, right?
Sure.
These things are huge batteries and
Right.
they take a lot of power, but if you get stuck somewhere, you can actually plug into this, and about 5 hours later, you get about 5 miles of range.
Really?
So if you get stuck
Worst
on a hill,
case.
yeah, worst case scenario. It's like when you got that little water bottle full of gasoline, and you're like,
Right,
"Come
right,
on, let's
right.
go."
That's
so
awesome.
you can limp yourself out of a situation if you need to, and you just draw it right off here. And of course, we got onboard solar and things
Sure.
like that, so you can get your house back up and running in no time.
Cool. So I know you designed it, you're the engineer, but what's your favorite thing about this unit, specifically on the Hummer EV? If you can name
Man.
one, if you can't, name a few.
You know, honestly, I mean, like, the way C-Zone integrates into this, it's probably one of my favorite things, because you
Okay.
can program a lot of different stuff. You know, we put this keypad in for kind of the show,
Yeah.
and like, when you hit one button, you can go basically into camp mode.
Okay.
And so when you hit that, the roof starts coming up, the scene lights come on.
Wow.
You know, there's exterior scene lights in the roof on each side of the roof.
So everything's automated.
And you can just
Nothing's
automate it.
manual.
So you can go into modes.
Okay.
You know, and those modes, you just like, it's nighttime mode, and it just turns nothing but these floor lamps on, or something like that, right? And
Yeah.
so it's very integrated. You
Wow.
can even link that to your iPad.
Okay.
And so
Wow,
it's pretty
that's a neat feature.
cool feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys always used that system?
We've used it in the Terra Novas, and we actually
Okay.
just went over to it in our flagship product in the EarthCruisers as well.
Okay. Wow.
You know, people are worried about the screens and stuff like that, but C-Zone especially is really nice because it's still got blade fuses and
Yeah.
things like that, and so you have a backup that's a very manual system as well.
Wow.
So if your screen just goes 404
Yeah.
dark mode on you, you can still open up that C-Zone panel, move a blade fuse on a certain circuit, and you're back up to power.
Wow.
And so we always keep that in mind, a redundancy, make sure you can fix it in the field, get back home,
Yeah.
and then you can fix it for real.
Right. So I'm curious, can you, do you offer a color matched unit? Just say, you want something for, just say a black Hummer EV
Yeah.
or a silver Hummer EV.
Obviously, that's what we did here,
Yeah.
right? This is a brand new color scheme from GM,
Okay.
and we color matched to that. I don't know if that's what we'll do in the production run, but it's definitely on
Us
the table.
Overlanders can be a bit fussy. We like things to look good and flow well.
Hey, if you
so-
ask our sales and marketing team, they'd say absolutely.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about the production team, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
But if you get it, I'm sure
Sure.
you could do it, even post back.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Wrap
I mean,
it, paint it, sure.
Wrap it, paint it, whatever.
Got it.
We debate about wrapping this too, but I'm glad we painted it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So.
The other thing us Overlanders, always think about when we're modding is, are there modifications or changes you need to do to install a unit like this? Like, just say from the bed, the body, the suspension, or is it a pretty plug and play?
Right now, it's a completely plug and play.
Okay.
So the payload of this thing's 1,300 pounds, right around there,
Okay.
and we're within GVWR and within that payload.
Wow.
So we'll continue to do that. That's what we shoot for with all of our vehicles. We're very particular about making sure we meet those FMVSS standards and we don't exceed weight.
Yeah.
But undoubtedly, the aftermarket's going to start catching up too, and there's
Yeah.
going to be all kinds of cool suspension systems out there. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So as the designer, last question, as the designer, as the engineer, is there anything you would like people to know that maybe someone wouldn't know or someone wouldn't recognize, something maybe little that you're like, hey, this is very unique for this specific Hummer EV?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think probably the coolest thing is just how OEM it looks,
Yeah.
and how purpose-built it is.
Yeah.
It's you took something that everybody, I mean, there's literally articles written about Hummer EV can't carry a camper,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But as soon as you dial in and say, we're going to build it for that truck,
Yeah.
Earth
Build it around that truck.
Yeah, EarthCruiser just focused, and we made it for that truck, and
Very
here we
cool.
go. Shame on you for saying no camper to
Right,
drag this
right.
thing, because you just didn't try hard
Yeah.
enough, right? Or whatever it is. So.
Yeah. Well, it's neat meeting people like you that are innovating, changing the way things are done, finding solutions, problem solving. So I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks for walking us through this thing, and thanks guys for watching. We'll see you next time.